Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy, the dope ass dude, and I am so excited to be back with you guys on tonight. I hope that you are ready for an amazing podcast because I know that I am, and I hope you guys can hear me out there. I'm hoping if you can, just let me know you can't hear me out there, but I think you can. But I'm really excited about tonight's podcast, and you guys already know the preliminary things. If you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, if you don't mind going ahead and subscribing to the YouTube channel, and while you're there, click on notify so that you can be notified each and every time a podcast or a video is uploaded to the site, as well as click on like. So take some time right now, click that like button so that this podcast can be shared with others just like you. Now, if you're not listening to the podcast on Monday nights, you can always listen to it on the go. You can check it out on Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Again, that's Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And you know, you can always catch the podcast live on Facebook, LinkedIn, X, which used to be Twitter, and YouTube. So again, that is Facebook, LinkedIn, X, and YouTube. And then finally, if you're not following me on Instagram and TikTok, if you don't mind going out, follow me on those platforms. On both platforms, I can be found at the Dope Ass Dude Podcast. And you can also follow me on Threads. I'm on Threads. So on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads, you can follow me at the Dope Ass Dude Podcast. And I already see that we got Karen in the chat, Lavette, Victoria, Tyson. Thank you guys for already being in the chat because, hey, and I know Karen Billington, let me just give her a shout out. She is an extraordinary baker. Gerod, you'll find that out. She'll probably be in the comments tonight, but she's an extraordinary baker. She always brings me desserts or whatever to work, and she takes care of me. So I love you, Karen. Thank you for checking it out tonight. And then, guys, you can go ahead and follow Gerod. Gerod is on Instagram and TikTok, and he's on both platforms as Gerrod Tucker. So you can find him on both of those platforms. So a little bit of history in regards to Gerod is I followed this guy on TikTok. He showed up on my timeline, and I went out and I followed him on TikTok. And this dude is like super, super funny. And I think the first video I saw of him, it was him like he sits in his car, and I think he had like a National Baptist hymnal in his hand, and he was telling musicians and choirs that he didn't want to hear all the yada yada that we do on Easter Sunday. And he was slapping the hymnal saying, we want to hear songs out of this. And I started following him, and then I went and I checked out his page. And once I checked out his page, I saw that this guy is a baker. And anybody who knows me, you know, dessert is one of my favorite things. I'm always eating desserts. So when I saw that he was a baker and an educator, I knew that I had to be in contact with this guy. So I'm going to go ahead and bring him on now so he can introduce himself. Gerod, what's going on, man?
How you
doing? What is going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm yet hold on, like the old folks say. That's what you're supposed to say. That's what you're supposed to say.
Yeah, you about to go to church on us already. So where are you located? So tell everybody where you located.
I am in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Okay, you're in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Okay, so do you... And I know you do a lot of baking and everything, but do you do Creole cooking and all of that food that is known for that area?
The closest thing that I can do, I tried my hand at gumbo one time. Ain't never doing that again. Tore it up. I can do red. Now, when they make red beans and stuff, I can have my hand at that and like rice and gravy and stuff. But all of those special dishes that they be making, I leave that up to them. Because you ain't finna talk about me. I won't be shamed on the internet about their food. No.
So what was the difficult part about the gumbo? Was it the roux? Because I know a lot of people struggle with making good roux.
That roux burnt it up. Burnt it all the way up. And I was just in there stirring. And I thought I was just doing something good. I thought I was going. I walked away from that pot, came back, smoked, burnt this. I said, you know what? I'm going to Popeyes because this ain't for me. This ain't for me at all. Nope.
And for those of you who don't know what roux is kind of like the gravy sauce or whatever you want to call it. Describe it that all the seafood and all of this other kind of stuff is in that goes with the rice. So it's like, from what I understand, it's super difficult to make, and it's a kind of like a slow process, and you really got to do it right. So how long did it take you to realize you messed yours up?
Oh, once I started smelling it and I saw that smoke come up there, I said, you know what? The fire department is not coming to me, and I got to tell them I burned stuff up over gumbo. You know how shamed I'm gonna be? No. They ain't finna talk about me. Y'all go home to y'all dinner tables and talk about me. I went to their house and he burnt up gumbo. No, I ain't finna do it. So guess what? I went to Popeyes, I ate that chicken, and I went to bed. That's what
So
I did.
is it a given thing? Do people expect you to know how to make gumbo because you're from Baton Rouge?
I'm not from Baton Rouge. I flew here. I'm originally from Indiana. I didn't know what all that stuff was because I didn't grow up eating it. My grandmother made gumbo sometimes, but all this other stuff they eat, like crawfish, all that stuff, I didn't know what that was. I came down here and was shocked. I said, oh, no. Didn't know what none of that stuff was. And these folks eat potato salad like they have lost their mind.
Oh, down in
salad and peas.
Oh, wow. They eat that a lot down in Baton Rouge?
Oh, sure do. They eat potato salad. They eat potato salad with gumbo.
Okay, so they said, let me see, someone said something here. Lavette said, you can never walk away from the roux. Yeah, that's what I understand. You can't walk away from it. It's easy. Yeah, and then Yolanda says she's laughing at you saying, I flew here.
I flew here. I flew here.
And Yolanda is actually from Louisiana too. She's from Louisiana too. So she knows all about that stuff. So okay, before we get started, I have I have two questions I want to ask you based on something I saw on your TikTok. Okay. So guys, I'm gonna play something and y'all just let me know if you can hear it.
It's hotter than a witch's titty outside. It's hot. And this is why y'all need some of this. Y'all see this dial gold? This is the weather y'all need this. And not that cute stuff y'all be wearing, all that other stuff. Y'all need some of this. To scrub that skin so you don't walk around smelling like cat coughs. Because it's hot outside. And it's time to wash. Get you some of this. This.
So that raises a couple of questions. So first, I want to know how hot is a witch's titty?
It's hot though, because you know they already on a slow ball to hell. So they're already hot. And you know up under there is nothing but hell raising. So it's already hot. And it's hot like that outside. So it's hot. So it's hot all under there.
It was hotter than a witch's titty. Okay. Sure and then how does a cat cough smell?
I don't know, but I just know it probably smells horrible. I just know it smells horrible. I know it do. I know it don't smell like minty green Listerine. It don't smell like that. I know it smells horrible. They be sitting there eating all that what that stuff is? Meow, meow, whatever they call it. You know that burp is horrible. It's coming right up. And people walk around smelling just like that.
Oh my God, that is too funny, dude. Because when I saw that video and I saw because everybody was asking the same question, or they were saying not a cat cough. Everybody was saying not a cat. Because when I heard that, I was like, how does a cat cough smell? Like, because I don't do cats. Like, we have any cat lovers in the comments. If we do, sorry for y'all, but I don't do cats.
I don't do no cat.
Yeah, I don't do cats. I got a dog, and that's about it. Yeah. So, okay. So, Gerard, we got that. I had to ask you that question. But then, so let me ask you this here. What is the secret of baking the perfect cake? Like what?
The secret?
Yeah. Because everybody can't bake a cake. Now, we can bake a box cake, but the way your cakes look, you're not doing boxes, right? Okay. So, what's the secret for baking a good cake?
The secret is, first of all, you got to get you a system. And I'm taking my system. I might have to hurt you because I done told you now. But you got to get a system. If you turn on you some favorite music, but it got to be good music though. Especially if you're going to make a pound cake or something that's real kind of old school. You need something old. So this is what you do. You either play a little Frankie Beverly or you do a little James Cleveland. James Cleveland gets it right though. He gets it right. And you play a little bit of that. And you go on and you get all your stuff out and you measure it, get everything mixed up. That's how the cake gonna come out right. And you got to get somewhere and sit down. Don't go around running around the house because the cake gonna fall. So sit down. Turn
so
on James
that's
Cleveland.
true. That's true. Like if you're moving around, because everybody say that's a myth. That is true.
If you are in that house doing all that moving, say you got kids and they jumping all over the place, that cake is going boop. Especially a pound cake, because pound cake don't have no leavening in it. It's just the eggs do, but there's no leavener in it. So you have to leave it alone. Especially if you keep opening the oven too, don't do that. Because that cake is going to take forever to cook. It's going to be gummy on the inside. And not everybody at the family reunion mad at you because you don't know how to act. No.
Okay. So you said get some good music. Now it has to be more to that than just baking a good cake. So when do you use the same ingredients for every cake or
yeah?
Or how? Okay, so break
you
that
have
down.
to use the same. If you're gonna use butter, sugar, eggs, flour, fine. But you got to get the right stuff. If you know you use Land O'Lakes butter, you can use Domino sugar, whatever brand you like, and I use the Swan Down cake flour. You got to keep using that. You can't go and try to deviate and do something else or something like that because the cake ain't gonna come out right. Don't go get Great Value stuff. Even though sometimes Great Value, it works sometimes, depending on what you're doing. But you got to use the same stuff over and over, the same process. And I tell people all the time, baking really isn't that hard. Once you learn how to do it, it's muscle memory. You just keep on doing it. It's the same process over and over.
Okay, so let's talk about Great Value. And those people out there that know me, they probably laughing right now because they know Great Value is a trigger for me. So
it is?
Yeah, it's a trigger. I have a nephew that is an amazing cook, but he only uses Great Value products. He only uses everything, cheese, whatever he's cooking, he only uses Great Value products. And he don't believe that you can taste the difference between Great Value and other products. So what is your problem with Great Value?
It tastes fake or something to me. Like it tastes like struggle. Like it tastes like, we was going through it. Like we was going through a hard time. That's what it tastes like. You know how you go to the store and your mama tell you don't touch nothing, put your hand in that boogie and you better not move. And you try to go pick up the Fruit Loops, but she try to buy fruit spins. We don't want fruit spins because they Great Value and they taste fake. They taste like red, purple, orange, green, all the colors of the Fruit Loop. We don't want that. You know it ain't good. So anything Great Value? No. Because it's not a Great Value at all. It's actually nasty.
But the funny thing though, of course, that's a Walmart product. That is a Walmart product. Now, Walmart pushes that in during Thanksgiving, Christmas time, because miraculously they have no other products. You can't find Land O'Lakes on the shelf. You can't find nobody but Great Value. So what are you doing those times if Great Value is so bad? That's what we're going to show up with at the family reunion.
Not in mind. But if I could only find Great Value, I'm going to another store. I'm just have to go somewhere else because it just doesn't. And I've tried it. I've even tested it out a few times. Okay, I bake a cake with a little cheaper stuff. And to me, it just doesn't give the same about it. I've even tried to use the Great Value flour one time. Cake was drier than bread. No, it didn't work. Didn't work. I tossed that right in the trash. I said, we can't have that. Can't have that one. I don't know what it did, but it just wasn't right. It just was not right.
It just wasn't right. Okay, so when you make a pound cake, like I said, and the funny thing about it, like my mom makes 7-Up pound cakes, and my niece, she makes an exceptional 7-Up pound cake. But I'm not a real big 7-Up pound cake fan. I will eat it, but I'm not a fan of it. If I go to an event and they have one, that's probably going to be a dessert I'm going to overlook. So so with that is cake flour, butter, eggs,
Sugar.
extract, sugar,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it.
And then you 7-Up, and then if you really want a moist cake, put a little sour cream in there.
Okay.
Just a little bit, not too much, because then it's going to probably, the ratio is going to be off. But you put a little sour cream in there, change your life.
Change your life. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the comments. How many of y'all that are out here watching tonight? How many of you're honest in a thing? Kelly. Oh, okay. She said,
Oh, hey there.
Okay, that's what's going on. Hey, Amy, how you doing? So, okay, those of you that are in the comments, how many of y'all, and be honest, we don't talk about great value, but how many of y'all use great value? Let's go ahead and put it in there.
They probably a little ashamed to tell you. They be a little ashamed.
If you use great value, how many of you use great value? And if you do use great value, why do you use great value over other products? Is it like, why is that your favorite? Okay. Oh, we got an honest person out here. Levette said, I do for some of my recipes. Like, okay, so Levette, give us a little bit more context on that. Does your recipe specifically call for great value, or is it like great value has a better taste for that? And we ain't trying to, Walmart, we don't want you suing us for talking about your product, but great value ain't it. So give us a little bit of that. Okay, Karen said no. Okay. Miss Tiff said absolutely not. Okay. Let me see here. Got some. They know they use it though. I can tell you.
Folk be shamed.
Oh, wait a minute. Gay says she uses great value. Now this is Gay Arbuckle. I know you may have heard Gay's music. Gay is a national recording artist. You heard that song, There Are Miracles and Blessings for Me? Have you ever heard that song? That's Gay. That's her, the lady that used great value. That's Gay. Gay, we need you to get some miracles and blessings. And come on up to Land O'Lakes. Leave that great value alone.
Leave it alone, baby. You don't got to use it. You ain't got to use it. I know it's a lot of money. I know it's a lot of money to feed people, but you ain't got to use it. You ain't got to.
Okay, so let's see who else we got here. Okay. Tiff said, no, I don't shop at that store. Okay. And Gay said, I'm not the ultimate cook though. Okay, so her food tastes like her food tastes like cat cough.
It don't taste like cat cough. It only might taste a little bit of struggle. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. A little bit. It's okay though. We all got lanes we play in. It's okay. It is okay. You ain't trying to go on a cooking competition. Do you?
Do you, Gay? Do you? I'm probably not a cook like you. Yeah, well, but Gay, I'm gonna come over and you can bake, me a cake and we'll go live when I eat it. We'll see. Okay, so what are some of the common mistakes people make when they do a 7-Up or a pound cake? What are some common mistakes that people make?
Bake it too long and they bake it at too high of a temperature. Or they might not mix their stuff all the way so to be lumpy. And then when you bake it, like say that's why they tell you, if you ever watch a cake video, like scrape the bottom of the bowl, because sometimes flour or sugar or whatever's up under there, it'll seep in there. And if you just pour it in the pan and bake it like that, yeah, the cake will come out, but when you cut into it, whatever that clump or whatever it is, it's going to be right there. And you're going to be able to see it. And I don't think you want to eat that. I made that mistake many times, but I learned.
So that would mess up your cake?
Sure will. You got to mix that stuff together so everything is incorporated. Because anything that's not, it's not gonna, some people think it'll just all melt together. No, if you leave that flour at the bottom and say you put sprinkled flour or whatever on the top, put in the oven, it's gonna bake like that, and you'll see the white stuff just sitting on top of that.
Oh, wow. Now, I know you have a KitchenAid mixer, so I already know that. I saw that on one of your videos. Do you just let your mixer do it, or do you go behind your mixer and still do your thing?
I go behind it because you got to get, because sometimes the paddle thing won't touch the bottom. And if it's not touching the bottom, then the stuff on the bottom is just sitting there. So you got to take that spatula, you got to put your elbow up like this and you scrape it. That's what you do. You put that elbow up like this and you scrape. If it's not up like this, you're not doing it right. You got to put it up and you got to get in there. You got to scrape it. It's levels to it. I learned it's levels. You can't be nice and just do this. No, that's not gonna cut it. You got to take that elbow up, and when you do, you ball your lips up. That's how you know you're getting in there.
Okay. So Dewan, she came back and said, let's see what she said here. I think she's a great value user. Let's see here. I can't get this to go. Let's see here. I can't get her comment on the screen for whatever. It's a reason there's something going on here. But okay, here we go. Let's see here. Let's see. Go back up to her. Got a lot of comments. Y'all really talking tonight. Okay. That's that. Let's go back. I think she says she uses great value, but not for bacon. I think that's what she was saying, that she don't use it for bacon. Okay, good, Dewan. We're glad you don't use it for bacon. Oh, here we go. Hell, I do, but not bacon. Okay, so she uses it for tacos.
I can get with it a little bit. Okay,
great value?
Taco, that's a word, because it's tacos.
Okay.
It's tacos. How can you mess up a taco?
And she said, you so messy. And she's talking about me because she's
just
my
a niece.
Okay, so let's move on to this here, because this is another thing that people struggle. And I know my friend Karen is going to come in on this here, because this is one of her specialties. Caramel. How do you make the caramel or caramel, however you want to say it? How do you make that for your time? Because you have a saying that you and I have talked about. You're going to start doing the apron. If it don't look like this, you did something wrong, or it ain't right, or something like that. So how do you make caramel or caramel? How do you make that?
You take, my grandmother taught me that. You take the butter, sugar, and, well, I call it pet milk, but the milk in the can, carnation milk, whatever. You take that and you literally boil it for like 2 hours. Now that's something that you can't walk away from either. At the beginning of the process, you can kind of walk off because it boils up and then it comes back down. But once you start to see the color come around the pot and kind of like it starts to thick and it kind of follows the spoon around, you got to keep stirring. Because if you don't, it's going to speckle. And once it speckles, just throw it away. You have to start over.
Okay.
So it's labor in it.
And that's funny that you said that, because I heard that you can. Now, I heard a little bit different, and you can tell me if you've ever tried this here. I've heard that you can just boil the carnation milk in the can for the 2-3 hours, however long you boil it. And then once you open it, the caramel is already formed. Have you ever tried that?
I tried it. I didn't really like it, but it's good. They take the sweetened condensed milk, and all you literally do, you can put it in a crock pot or, just a pot, and you put the water on top of it and just let it boil for like 3 hours. And once they pop the can open, it turned into caramel. Now, some people put that on the cake, and that's their caramel cake. Me personally, I don't like it because it tastes it doesn't taste like caramel to me. To me, it tastes more of like like butterscotchy kind of to me. It don't taste like a caramel, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But some people like it because it's quick. I mean, it's quick, so you just put it on there.
Okay, because I saw on your sound bite, you have people that are using your sound and they are pouring caramel on their cakes and everything. And I got to admit, their caramel didn't look like your caramel, but they thought it did. So was it right? If it don't, because your thing, you said, if it don't look like this, okay.
You did something wrong. You really did something wrong. But a lot of them came close. They did. They came a little bit close. I'd be sad telling him like, baby, that ain't it. We're gonna have to keep doing it. But you got close. Okay? You got a close second. It's just, you got to keep on doing it. It took me forever to get it, so it's gonna probably take for you forever to get it, or it might not. But what y'all did, it ain't it. Mm-mm.
Okay, so your grandmother is the one who taught you how to make cakes?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
My daddy's mama taught me more of the cooking part, but my mama's mama was the one who taught me the baking stuff. And she used to make caramel cakes. And I think I asked her one day, "Oh, how do you make this?" And I think I was home from school, or I was off from school or something, and we just went through recipes. It took me forever to learn how to do that. She can do it like the back of her hand. She can do. I tried to do it like that roux, burnt it up, smoking everywhere.
Yeah, so, and I saw that, okay, so you've created some desserts your own self. Like you have other cakes that you bake out there. Like, how do you come up with your selection of the cakes? Like, is it that someone requested, or is it that you go somewhere and you try something and you're like, hey, I want to make that? Or like, how do you come up with your creations or cakes?
Sometimes if I go somewhere and they'll have, a little something, sometimes I can maybe try to recreate it. Or if I'm just scrolling on Facebook, whatever, and I see something, I can try to recreate that. But most of the time people ask me, and if it's something I've never done before, I make it and taste it, because I don't never want to give somebody something that I ain't tasted, because it might look good to you, but you put this thing together and it tastes horrible. So we got to tweak some things in there. But it's most of the stuff people are asking me, or stuff that I can say knew. I just take it and try to do it a different way, except for the traditional stuff.
Oh, the traditional stuff, you stick to it the way that you know it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Because people expect that. Like if you say you want a red velvet cake, don't nobody want a red velvet cake, and you didn't put chocolate ganache and all this stuff in there. People don't know what all that stuff is, especially for older folks. When they ask you for stuff, you got to do it by the book, because baby, they will shame you and talk about you like a dog. I said, oh, no. I need to do this right. So Priscilla and Herbert, when they go home with them ham hocks and greens they got, and they want a piece of cake, I'm going to be able to make this shit right, because y'all ain't going to talk about me. Because they will. They will talk about you. She'll get on their phone and call her friends and be like, girl, he done made this cake and something ain't right about it. No. I won't be the talk at Macedonia Baptist Church. No, I won't. Because they're going to talk. And I won't be the talk. I'm not going to be the talk of that. The mother's board? Oh, no.
So let's talk about that. So when you bake and you take to church, because we know you're a church boy. So when you bake and you take to church, you are baking against people 50 years older than you. Like, so how do you feel you compare to them, or how do they compare to you? Let's just do that. Do they cakes be good, as good as you think they should be? Or they been doing it wrong for 50 years?
They do. Now, it was, maybe twice. I had a cake. I said, oh my God, this ain't it. I don't know what she's been doing for the last 75 years, but whatever it is, it ain't right. But most of them, when I give them stuff, they like it. And they're like, oh, okay. To them, they didn't got to do it no more. So they always asking me to do it. I said, oh, that's fine. More money for me. Here we go. Once they find out and it's not dry, that's the problem. People want to make pound cakes and they be dry. But if it's not dry, winner chicken dinner. You got something going there.
I think that's my problem with pound cakes, is because normally they're dry. They're dry, and once they sit up, they get a little bit hard and all that other kind of stuff. Don't nobody want no hard dessert. We want a moist, soft cake. And normally people don't get that with pound cakes. And I saw one of your videos, you said the top of the pan when you bake it is supposed to have like a cookie texture. Is that like?
Yeah, it got to have a little crack. It have a little crack up in there. It has to. I don't know, just pound cakes to me, when they're good, it have a little crack at the top. And if it don't have the crack, well, you didn't do it right. And they be so sad when I tell them that you didn't do it right. So, It got to have that little puffed up, like when it kind of cracks open, because that's how you know it's good. That's how you know.
Okay. Okay, so let's talk about that, and this is something that we definitely want to get into because you are an educator. Like you educate youth on how to make cakes and everything, a part of the schooling system there. How did you get there?
One of the girls I went to culinary school with, she's at the career center and she's over the culinary program there. So I think she called me last summer in July, just out of the blue. And she asked me, "Do you want to come teach Pro Star?" At first, I was like, no, because to deal with them hell raising children, you want me to come there? No. But then I thought about it. I said, you know what? Teachers do have the best schedule. And usually I've always either worked on the weekend or through holidays because we had to do X, Y, and Z. That's okay. This is something new. Now, I definitely learned that those children can make you want to pull your hair out and probably, drive anybody to drink. But when you ask the Lord for the patience of Job, he give it to you, and then you can deal with them dang gum kids. Because when it comes to food, they are like rabbits and roaches. I mean, just, baby, calm down. It's just food. It's just a chicken wing. I don't know why you're freaking out about a chicken wing. They be ready to fight each other over it. I'm like, oh, Lord have mercy. It's like they never ate before.
So the students actually get in the kitchen and they're actually cooking?
Uh-huh. They go, whatever you give them, like we'll go through it and then I let them do it themselves. And it's amazing to see what they can do and what they can't. I mean, they can't do everything, but what they come up with, and it's just basic little things. Like one time they wanted to make pancakes. They worked my nerves about pancakes over and over and over and over and over again. But I was like, you know what? It's something y'all like doing, so here we go. Because some of them don't know cooking or anything outside of noodles, hot dogs, rotel dip, or like tacos or something. They don't really know how to put a meal together. So once they learn how to do that, then they ready to give you every dang on thing. You just got to be mindful because sometimes they don't like to wash their hands. And I have to tell them, you're going to give somebody Ebola if you don't wash your hands.
Oh my God. Oh, so Tracy Tucker said pancakes with buttery, crispy edges. And I'm on that. I'm with her on that. Like, I mean, we would talk about if I make them at home, I call them flapjacks because they ain't no pancakes. These don't, I don't know what they are, but they so good. And it, like she said, they do have to have that buttery, crispy edge, man. It's like
they got to.
Like that. They got to.
Now, my mom, she can do that. She can do them crispy edges. And they be like little, she'll make like a little stack and they be like about this big, but my God, they be good. I can't duplicate it, so I leave it alone. I let my mama deal with it. Like, no, you go ahead and do it. And give me 10 when you're done. I want a stack like this. That's what I want. And then after that, I go to sleep.
So what made you decide to go to culinary school? Like, I mean, I know, did you just want to have the credentials behind it? Like what, inspired you to go ahead and take it to the next level?
The credential part, honestly, I really wasn't thinking about that. I just knew I liked to do it. And when you graduate high school, you're like, okay, what I'm going to do? Like, which way do I go? And I was like, okay, well, culinary school is a cute little thing to do. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do that. And I thought that culinary school, we was up in there baking brownies and stuff all day. It was days I was up in there and I wanted to cry because it's difficult at some points because you got to go through book work. You got to get all these certifications. Sometimes you be ready to be like, I'm going to quit, but you just make it on through. But if I could do it all over again, I would, because that's one of the best experiences I have ever had, especially doing it down here. Because I was going to go in Chicago, but then I was like, okay, well, Louisiana cute. So I'm like, okay, let's go to Louisiana. And we did it here. Best thing in the world.
Wow. So, okay. So where do you go from here? Where do you think, like, you're in the education system and you are, molding minds for the future, where do you think your next step would be after education?
I would love to have my own. I don't want a big thing, like a big, so-called bakery or whatever. I just want kind of something small and intimate, because I feel like if it gets too, I don't want to say I don't want to be a big, of course.
Okay, we're going to give Gerard a few seconds. It looks like he may be paused over there, but we're going to give him a few seconds. So while we're giving Gerard time to get situated over here, what do you guys, let's talk about that. What are some of your desserts that you love to bake? Like, are you a baker? Are you a cook? What are some of the things that you like to cook? Put it in the comments. Let's see what you got. And I see we got the Tucker family out there, George and Tracy. I mean, good to see you guys in the comment. I'm assuming you guys are here for Gerard. But what are the best things that you guys like to cook? Okay, LeVette said, I stay in my lane. I'm just to cook. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, Mr. Tucker said peach cobbler. So, Mr. Tucker, I have a question for you. Like, so when you make your filling, your peach filling, like, what do you use? Real butter, or do you use margarine? Do you use extract? Like, what is your secret for making the perfect pie filling? Okay, Ms. Tucker said, yes, we are his parents. Thank y'all for being here tonight. Okay, let's see here. Real butter. Yes, you got to have real butter, because that margarine stuff, it ain't cutting it. And I've had many debates with people who say, well, you can't taste the difference between margarine and butter. Now, and I'm gonna ask y'all that. Got a lot of bakers in the audience tonight. Can you taste the difference between butter and margarine? Miss Tucker, I'm coming to your house because I love Land of Lake. I only use that Land of Lake butter, so I'm coming to your house. Okay, so you're gonna have to. You said that you don't want. We're gonna start where you kind of froze on us, Gerard. So you said that you would a bakery. So that's not a goal of yours, or is that a goal?
It is, and I want to be able to give people the experience that I have, I guess, with desserts, and how, it correlates to people. Because everybody, either had a grandmama, auntie, mama, daddy, whoever, somebody that baked something. So I want to be able to give that same experience to them, the same way I had it. You go places, and you got the desserts lined up, got the pound cake over there, you got the peach cobbler, banana pudding. You got to go and get that stuff. And I want to be able to give it to other people. Because everybody can't experience that. Everybody don't know what they're doing.
True that.
Making
True
that stuff.
Everybody do not know what they are doing. So,
they show don't.
Got a lot of people. I asked the question, can you taste the difference tell the difference between butter and margarine? Everybody is saying yes. I 100% agree with you. A lot of people, but some people believe that you can't taste the difference between the two.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Even some people try to make margarine with it and make a cake with margarine. You can tell the difference. The texture is even different because it's not real it's not real butter. It's like oil and whatever margarine is. It's like a flavored, like I think they make it from vegetables or something, but it's not butter. So the cake is gonna be like almost like wet, kind of. Because I tried it to see how it would come out. I said, oh no, this is mushy. Don't nobody want no mushy cake.
Okay, so another one
press on and stuff come out.
Another one of your specialties that you talk about on your page, you biscuits or rolls. Like, now that's something, and I saw you had where you made the yeast and all of that kind of stuff. So you made that yeast yourself?
Oh, you get the yeast from the store. You get the yeast from the store. I use mason jars just to measure the thing because I like mason jars. But you take the little yeast from the store and you heat your milk or whatever liquid up just a little bit, because if you heat up too much, it's gonna burn it, it's gonna kill the yeast. And you bloom it in there until once you see the bubbles and it kind of fluffs up, that's how you know it's active. If it don't do that, you're gonna have to throw it away. And because if you put dead yeast into rolls, the rolls won't rise. It'll just be kind of like hard and gummy. That's the secret to actual rolls. You have to let them rise multiple times for them to be soft and pillowy and fluffy. Don't nobody want no hard roll. Hard as your head, just like this. This is what you can do with it. Take it and knock somebody right up the head with it.
So how do you know if the yeast is bad though?
If it doesn't bubble up. If the yeast, once you pour the yeast into that milk mixture, put your little sugar in there too, because the yeast needs something to feed off of. If you put it in there and you walk off and nothing happened, there's no reaction, there's no bubbling, there's no nothing, the yeast is dead, going to start over.
Wow. So we got something. Someone said, first thing he made and critiqued was pancakes.
Oh, yeah. And I messed them pancakes up. Let me tell you. Messed them pancakes up.
So when you say you messed them up, what does that mean?
My sister tells me all the time, it's like a feeling. I didn't let them cook long enough. I cut right into that thing, and that pancake batter came right on out. And I was as sick as a dog from eating them dang on things. I was so tore up and hurt. I said, Lord, I thought I was in here doing something. Wasn't doing nothing but making a mess in my mama's kitchen. Making a complete mess.
So what I find so extraordinary about you, Gerod, and everybody, we haven't discussed his age yet. Gerod is only 25. And he shared that with me. And I think he is already on a fast path to like doing some extraordinary things, because you're so young and you're already making such a great impact. So what keeps you inspired? Because the world is constantly telling you, you need to do this. And especially with baking, you know, a lot of times pastry is one of the last things people think of when they are looking to do a career. Like, so what keeps you like inspired and happy as a pastry chef?
You know, I can honestly say, and I know it's very cliche to say, but it's honestly from what my grandmother showed me to do. Honestly, just keep doing that, because especially now both of them are older and they can't do all of the stuff that they used to do. So that's like a pusher for me to keep it going. And it's a dying art. People don't cook like that. And people don't bake like they used to. It was a time when everybody, you know, baked homemade stuff. People don't do that anymore. So when you find people that can do it, I think you should be able to keep it up. And that's why I feel like I have to keep it up. You got to keep going. It gets hard sometimes, because some days I don't feel like doing it. I don't care what type of cake you want. Leave me alone. Shut up. But if you know why you're doing it, you just keep on going. You just got to keep going. Keep it up. You got to keep pacing, climbing up the ladder. You got to keep climbing up the ladder. Everybody want to stop when it gets hard, or stop when I don't feel like doing this. I don't want to put no work into it. Well, you're going to have to, because everything ain't going to come easy. And once that clicked in my head, that's okay. Let me go. Because sometimes I can be a little lazy Larry and not want to do it. Especially when I got to clean up all this stuff and go to the store and get all this stuff. So no.
Have you ever considered altering, like opposed to like, have you ever considered going into more of the pretty cakes, the wedding cakes, the birthday cakes with all the font? I mean, I don't know. I can't even think of the thing on top of it. Yeah. Have you ever thought about going into that and not doing that? Like, I mean, have you ever thought about that? Or are you ever feeling like that's the direction you need to go in to stay competitive and current?
I've done the cakes before. Like I've done the cute little, you know, birthday cakes and all that stuff. But honestly, no, I don't really like it, because everybody thinks that that's the way you have to go, because that's the trend and that's the thing to do now. But what people don't realize is everybody gonna want a pound cake. That will never go out of style. That will never, no matter where you go, that is always going to be something people want. People don't really eat like ice. A lot of people don't eat icing and all, all that stuff. My grandmother didn't eat it. So you would scrape the icing off of a cake, and you have a lot of people that don't really, they want something sweet, but they don't want all the sugary stuff and all that. It's pretty to look at, but heck, sometimes you cut people pretty little cakes. It's about as tough as cornbread. Ma'am, you put Jiffy Mix in this. That's exactly what you did. This ain't no cake. You put Jiffy Mix in this, and I know you did. I know you did. And you're trying to pass it off like this is a cake. You know you put Jiffy up in this because this is cornmeal tasting.
A Jiffy sweet.
People need to learn.
There's a Jiffy sweet. It's the same thing as sweet. So don't that make it a cake?
No, and if you eat Jiffy, you're not really. Don't eat no Jiffy.
Oh my God. Oh my God, you about to start some fights now. I don't eat Jiffy anymore. I used to eat Jiffy. I ain't gonna even lie. I used to eat Jiffy with some spaghetti. I love Jiffy with spaghetti back in the day. In my younger days, I love Jiffy with spaghetti. Now I don't eat it now, but I do know some people still cook Jiffy. I go to their house and they got a big pan of Jiffy cornbread and they proud of it.
Proud of it. Don't nobody want that sweet cake mess. If I wanted the cake, that's what I'm talking about. If I wanted the cake, I would have baked the cake.
Oh my God. So she said, I despise Jiffy. Okay. Yeah. And then Jiffy does not go in. Can y'all, and I'm glad they put that in caps. It does not go in just, I've had some dressing where people put Jiffy in it. It's like, no. No.
And you can taste that sweet bell peppery onion mess that they be making and trying to pass it off. I'm not eating that. I'm not. That be you made sweet bell pepper onion stuff. That's what you made. You don't make no dressing. And then you want me to put cranberry sauce or gravy on top of this Jiffy Mix you just gave me? No, that's all right. Next family function, just bring cups because you thought you thought you was really doing something. Just bring cups next time.
We got all these people in the comments, and they all talking about Jiffy, including the Tuckers, and they know they put Jiffy in their food. Yo, folks, the Tuckers, they having Jiffy at their house tonight.
I'm not using that. That is hell. I ain't using that.
We got one person standing up for it. Tyson said, he said, I love Jiffy.
See, but the problem is you're not saved. And when you get saved, then you can, God delivers you from things. And when he does that, he'll deliver you straight from that. Come on, lift your hands right now. He'll do it if you ask him. If you ask him, he'll do it. People need to, people go to the altar for dumb stuff. They go for everything that go for, stupid stuff. You trying to ask the Lord to deliver you from smoking, but yet you cooking Jiffy. That needs to be your main concern. You need to go fix that. People don't have their priorities.
Is this your sister?
Yes. No, I was raised right. She loved Jiffy. She liked that mess. She liked that mess.
She said you weren't raised right. So your mom and them used to cook Jiffy at the house. Your parents used to cook Jiffy at the house.
My daddy likes Jiffy. He likes that. I don't eat that. No. And then he loved to tell me, it was sweet. Well, Daddy, if we wanted sweet, you could have just baked the cake. Like, why are we eating this? It's
a family war going on. Now your mom is talking to your sister in the comments.
I keep trying to tell my sister that. She don't like to listen to me. She don't like sound teaching. I have told her over and over, don't nobody eat Jiffy. But
not these days. Not these days. You don't eat Jiffy in 2025. I got to agree. Now, back in the day when we didn't know anything, when sweet cornbread first came out and people was a little bit too lazy to put sugar in their cornbread when they baked it, Jiffy was the thing. Like I told you, but that was in Hamburger Helper days when we used to eat a Hamburger Helper. And like I said, I love Jiffy with cornbread. Spaghetti. I used to love that. So I ate Jiffy for a long time. I wouldn't eat it today, though. I wouldn't eat it today.
You eat spaghetti and cornbread together?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess you're supposed to eat it with toast. I've had it with toast too. But yeah, if somebody, my sister used to
Toast.
cook it with cornbread. Yeah, garlic bread. Oh, but we forgot you're a part of the new generation. Y'all only know garlic stick, bread sticks. We grew up with cornbread and garlic toast. So yeah, we used to eat
Oh,
that.
the garlic toast I can deal with because my daddy used to put butter and sprinkle garlic powder on it. So that was, I think that's like the hood version, I don't know, of like the garlic bread. But you got to have fish with your spaghetti. You got to have fried fish with your spaghetti. All that other stuff people be making with it, that don't do that. Don't do that. Fried fish and spaghetti goes together.
Okay,
That's
we're
how
gonna
you eat
leave
that.
that. Is that a Louisiana thing or an Indiana thing?
Oh, that's Indiana because they won't do it down here. They look at me crazy.
Yeah, we ain't doing that here. So Levette said, John, I'm a lot older than you, and I never like cornbread with my spaghetti. Okay, Levette, thanks you. Hey, maybe I'm just different, but I like cornbread with my spaghetti. Let's see what else we got here. Somebody else said something about some spaghetti. Spaghetti, catfish, and cornbread. Ugh. Okay, yeah, we're not gonna shame y'all for y'all likes. Congratulations, you got somebody who likes spaghetti and fish. Okay, Midwest. Your sister said Midwest. Okay, so yeah, so we got a lot of people. So we talked about the biscuits, we talked about the cakes. Now, do you make pies? And I saw you made a peach cobbler. I know your dad said peach cobbler is one of his favorite things to make, or one of his favorite desserts. How do you make your peach cobbler? Because this is
You
another
can
thing
now. I
people go
don't.
wrong with. People go wrong with
Yeah,
peach
it
cobbler.
is.
Yeah.
It's either too runny or too thick. People don't know how to find the balance in between the two. But you can use, I use canned peaches. I ain't gonna lie, I use the canned peaches. But they gotta be the Del Monte peaches though. For some reason that they just gotta be Del Monte peaches for me. And
So
you put your brown sugar, your nutmeg, cinnamon, and you gotta put a little lemon juice in there because it need a little, just a little bit. You need to be able to do that when you eat it. And you cook it until the filling gets a little thick. But you don't want it too thick because some people have it and you can't do nothing but it'd be like this. Like you scoop it up and it's like, this is silly putty he made.
I'm gonna leave this
I don't want silly putty.
But I'm gonna leave this comment on the screen for the rest of the night. I like cornbread with my spaghetti too, John. So, hey, thank you. Yeah, we're gonna leave that up there. So you said it tastes like putty.
Yeah, because some people if they make the filling too thick and you go to scoop it, it's like this is Play-Doh, this is silly putty up in here. I don't want that. You gotta find the sweet spot in between the two. Find the common ground. You want it thick because you don't want it loose, but you gotta, just thicken it up a little bit. Get your little cornstarch, a little water, make a little slurry, and pour it up in there. But the best part is the crust. You can really keep everything else.
Yeah.
The crust is the best part.
Yeah.
And if you're going to make your crust, you got to use Crisco. You got to use Crisco.
Okay, so let's talk about that. When you make crust, because I've tried to make crust before, I've never been successful with that. I always mess it up. And I think I wait and allow it to get too warm. So when you're trying to roll it out, it sticks with the roller or whatever. So I can never get it correct. Like, how do you make your crust?
Let me see. You take about 2 cups of flour. Now, the flour honestly really don't matter. As long as it's all-purpose flour. Get a little bit of flour, a little bit of salt, and you sprinkle a little bit of sugar in there. And you have to use Crisco because my grandmother used Crisco, and she swore by it. So I just stick with that because it makes it flaky. And you can't use off-brand shortening either. It has to be Crisco, preferably the butter flavored one because it's like buttery tasting. So you put that in the freezer, let it get cold a little bit, and then you put it in the flour and you cut it in there until it got little mealy little crumbs. And then you take a little bit of ice water. And this is where people go wrong at. They put too much water in it. So when they put too much water, they add too much flour. And that's what makes the crust chewy. If you ever had people's like peach cobbler or pie or whatever, and the crust is chewy, you have to you want to wet the dough until it forms a ball, until you can push it together. And after that, leave it alone. Wrap it up, go put it in the refrigerator or something, let it rest. And then after that, you roll it out and do whatever you're gonna do. But that's what people go wrong at. They put too much water in there, and it turns into like then you add too much flour, and then it's a mess after that. And you can tell when the crust, by rolling it out, you can tell it ain't gonna be right, because a different type of feel to it. It feels like almost like tacky. And if you have to keep throwing flour everywhere, baby, just go buy the Pillsbury one out the thing. Ain't nobody gonna judge you for that. A lot of folks do that. Just go buy the Pillsbury one.
I do that.
Like, see?
I go hard.
Just go buy the Pillsbury.
Go buy the Pillsbury. Because I wanted to make the homemade, but I never can perfect the homemade. I've tried several times, and every time I mess up when it's the rolling part. I think I just let it get too warm, and I struggle with the rolling part. So I just give up. I just be like, no, I'm not going to do this here. But I love you, because that's another thing. You can tell homemade crust and store-bought crust. You can tell.
You can look at it and tell.
Yeah, you can tell the difference.
You can look at it and tell. And people swear that they can't. Oh, I can't tell. Yes, you can. You know you can.
You can. Yeah,
just like that little sideways wig people be wearing and got on their head. You know the difference between that. So why can't you tell the difference between this? People like to act oblivious to stuff.
How did the wig come into play with the crust?
Because you know they be wearing them sideways wigs. You know they do. It'd be just like this. You know they do. And it's always the ones with sideways wigs that want to come tell you how to cook something. I can't trust you.
Oh my God.
You came out the house like you've been rolled hard and put away wet, and you want to tell me how to do something? No, this conversation ain't even going nowhere, because I already know you're not trustworthy.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. So, okay. So here's a controversial question here. With the cobbler, do you do crust at the bottom and at the top, or do you just do crust at the top, or do you do crust at the bottom? Because that people debate whether it's a cobbler if it has. So which do you do? Because they say if it's on both the top and bottom, it's a pie.
Yep, that's a pie. I put crust and what my grandmother would call dumplings. So you roll your dough out and cut it in little squares, and you stick that in the oven. Because first of all, people be making these cobblers, and the crust is about soggy as a wet piece of bread. Don't nobody want that. You have to take a little bit, and you make your dumplings and put that in the oven. Let them get all crisped up and stuff. And then after that, you put it in your pan and you pour your peach stuff in there. And then on the top, now sometimes if I'm lazy, you can just roll out, roll it out and lay it on top. Or if I'm really feeling fancy, then you can make the little pattern with it. And then you sprinkle your little sugar on there. That's how people really know you did something. You go to family reunion with that, and you got that little lattice, the little basket pattern on top. Oh, ain't nobody messing with you, because they know you did that. You beating your Auntie Priscilla stuff. She been making it since 68. So now you come through with that pattern on top of there. You're gonna be the talk of the family reunion. Ain't nobody gonna top your peach cobbler now. Nobody.
Oh my God, dude! This has been like so. It's an hour already, so our time we at the end of the podcast. But this has been so funny, and I mean, actually, so informative, because I think again, when it comes to desserts, I think people want to take, especially holidays like Thanksgiving, Christmas, and those are when desserts in African American homes, I'll just say that desserts are super, super important. And a lot of us, we go wrong when we take desserts, because again, you can taste the difference between a box cake and a from scratch cake. Because one of my favorite cakes that I love, and I love it when I find a place that make it homemade, is strawberry cake. And I can always tell a homemade, and it has to be 3-layered. I love when it's 3-layered, and it's just amazing. But I've had box cakes where they doctored it up. Nah, this ain't it. Because you can always tell you can tell scratch and baked. And I think our holiday times, people want to take desserts, but we fail most times when we take those desserts. So what holiday tips would you give people?
Most of all, put love into it. Baby, if you know you can't do it, just let somebody else do it. Just let somebody else do it. It's okay. We are not going to get mad at you. If you know you can't make it, please don't offer to make it. But if you're going to try, you need to be practicing now. First of all, Christmas, all the holidays is tomorrow. So you need to be practicing now what you're going to bake and whatever you're going to do. Practice now.
Yeah, practice now and taste it yourself in the beginning. And
please do.
Yeah, taste it yourself before you make it. And then, because those holidays times at my family's house, we do a thing every year. We call it kick it or keep it. And what we do is we get everybody's dish, everybody out there, everyone is eating, we get everybody's dish and we hold it up and we say kick it or keep it. And if it's a kick it, that means don't bring this mess no more. Don't bring this no more. And like some of our family, they be upset. But hey, if it's bad, we don't want you to make that same mistake twice and bring it again. So don't bring this no more. Don't bring this no more. And I agree with you. A strawberry cake will bring you and me to Jesus, because a good strawberry cake, but that scratch is something about that. Yeah.
It's the best thing in the world.
It's the best thing in the world. So what's next for you, Gerod? Where are we going to see you next? Like, what's next for you?
Child, me and you both about to figure that out. Me and you both about to figure that out. Once I get through this school year, well, I can still do stuff during the school year. But once I get through all that, it's up. And I need to start really doing some more TikTok stuff because I kind of strayed away a little bit. But I need to keep doing that stuff because people love it. So I said, we finna keep doing this. And once I saw a little money from TikTok, can't tell me nothing. I don't even know why people talking to me. Like, do you not know that I'm famous? Like, what you talking about? Like, you really trying to just talk to me? You really thought you just to have a regular conversation?
But Gerod, every one of your videos, even your cake videos, you be going off on folks. You have like a little jab in there for them, because it was one video, I think it was the frosting video or something, and you said you referenced a mistake and you said, "Baby, that's your mammy." I said, "Did he just say that's your mammy?" You got a jab for him in there.
I got to jab him because people get in comments and get bold. So I'm like, oh no, You want to get bold in these comments? No, before you get bold, I'm going to help you be bold. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to help you be bold.
Oh, my God. Well, Gerod, I am so appreciative of you coming on this podcast. And like I told you earlier, and I tell every guest that come on here, like, we're connected for something bigger than just this. And me connecting with you on TikTok is just the beginning of the connection. And I am super excited about your future because you're so young. And I love how you said we're going to figure it out at the same time, because that just shows the freedom of where you are right now, that you can just allow life to create itself, or you can create whatever you want to do. So I am like excited about your future and excited about seeing like what's next for you. And I'm glad your parents was here, Mr. and Mrs. Rucker. Thank you so much for being here. And sister, thank you. And Amy, thank y'all for coming out and watching it tonight. But yeah, we connected forever, man. And Mr. Tucker and Miss Tucker, I'm coming to your house and I need spaghetti with Jiffy cornbread. Mr. Tucker, make sure you have Jiffy cornbread.
He gonna eat that by himself.
What part of Indiana?
I usually tell people Chicago because that's the only way they get it. But I don't know if you know, like Gary, East Chicago, Hammond. Do you know?
Yeah, Gary. Yeah, Gary.
Once I say Gary, people get it. Exactly. That's the first thing people say. But I'm from Hammond, but that's about they right there. All is right next to each other. But the moment I say Gary, they be, oh yeah. I'm like, you got it now, baby. Conjunction, junction. What's your function? You got it.
Yeah, I have family that lives in Marion, and a couple of years ago, I had the opportunity to go up there a couple of times, and I went up there like during the summer, so the weather was like
Mhm.
beautiful, and they took me to like some summer, kind of like farmers market. They had the best corn I've ever had in my life there in
Oh,
Indiana.
corn to change your life.
Yeah, it would change a
Corn to
life
change
there.
your
Oh
life.
my God, it was amazing.
It'll change your life.
Because they
You
was
boil
like,
that
yeah,
stuff with a little salt and butter on there. It's
yeah.
good.
They was like, you got to have the corn before you go back. And I'm thinking like, I've had corn 1,000 times, but when I tasted,
No.
I was like,
Mm-mm.
this is what they talking about. It was amazing. It was
Mm-hmm.
amazing. Yeah. So everybody, this is the season finale of season 10, and I'm so happy Gerard closed this out with me. And so I won't see you guys again until the first week of October. For season 11, and we'll go throughout the remainder of the year. But I'm really excited about that, and have a couple of people that I want to thank. I definitely want to thank Yolanda Hargrove. She creates all of my shirts every week. She does my shirts for me. And then just a couple of people that I always hear, Pat and Tyson and Karen and, and Yolanda and Tiffany. Tiffany has been here. Tiffany was one of my guests on the podcast earlier in the season, and she's been coming back in Casal, and I am just so excited. And my niece is here, another one of my nieces, Miss Mars. What's going on, Marsha? Thank you for being here. But this season has been like really, really good, and I'm just so grateful for everything that each of you have done. And yeah, I'm looking forward to season 11, and I'm looking forward to having more extraordinary guests like Gerard. Yeah, you was my only Gen Z on here this season, so hey, you kind of like, but I think you like a
I'm
baby.
somebody.
You are somebody. You are somebody.
Keep trying to tell folk that. Keep trying to tell them.
So Pat said, God bless you all until next time, as John would say. Peace. Yeah, guys. So we will see y'all in October. Look out for me. Go out, follow Gerard on Instagram and TikTok. Gerrod Tucker, that's his name on both of those platforms. You can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, the dope ass dude. And me and Gerard, we're gonna figure out something to collab, and he's gonna get his aprons ready so I can give those away as prizes. I'm gonna purchase them from him and give those to you guys. But I'm definitely excited about your future, Gerard. So yeah.
Oh, well, thank you for having me on here, because I feel this the highlight of my day, baby. I'm somebody. Y'all just don't know. Y'all just catching on. I really been that, but it's all right.
Yeah, you already been there, brother. You already been there. So everybody, until next time, oh, absolutely, Mr. Tucker. I am definitely excited to know him, and definitely excited to get to know you all in the future as well. But thank you all for being here on tonight. And everybody, until the first Monday in October, peace.
Ooh.